as normal. Ladies and gentlemen, to be a normal black man and woman under white supremacy, according to white definition, is to be sick, according to African definition. Yes. Personality and normality involves a particular organization of the person's ways of thinking, the organization of a person's ways of behaving, of seeing the world, of seeing himself, of looking at the world and relating to people in that world. More deeply, it is an organization of people's taste and interests and desires. And if you look closely at it then, normal people in a particular society will be interested in those things that maintain that society, will have desires which, if satisfied, maintains the power relations in that society. Am I making myself clear here? Okay? They will be interested in things that maintain power relations. They will define themselves in ways that maintain power relations. The way some black men define themselves today as skirt chasers, as beer drinkers, looking at a TV set, watching men run into each other and fall down. That's a man. Keeping up and being solely obsessed by women. So is not defined socially and in terms of his social group, then he will not be social but antisocial. And one of the major reasons then our males are attacking our own societies and communities today is because they have not correctly defined what it means to be a man. A normal African man would not kill another man in order to take the money he rifles from his pocket to a white man and give it to him and make him rich so that he can rule over him further. Not normality. In fact, you don't even have to go that far. A normal man, black man, doesn't work day and night only to give his money to a white man. You have to be abnormal. But of course, the white man has to make you feel that that is what? Normal. And that is the American way. And you're doing what you want to do, and nobody else can tell you how to spend your money. You are now expressing American individualism and what it means to be free. Isn't it strange? And watch it, ladies and gentlemen, every means by which the normal African American defines his freedom ends up supporting white folks.
What is good, my people? We are live back again with another live broadcast on the forecast. What's going on, my brother Anthony? How you doing, my brother? I appreciate you for coming through. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate everybody for coming through. And today, I got a lot of stuff that I want to show. Now, you can say your opinion, but I want to kind of get through it. Because some stuff I might even skip or whatever, or we'll talk about it another time. But it's like several things that I want to show. So, I'm gonna try to get through it. Hopefully it don't take, super long, as I don't think it's gonna be too long. But like I said, if you do have some opinion on the thing, you know what I'm saying, on whatever I'm talking about, just let me know, you know what I'm saying, and I'll put the link in there. But like I said, we're not gonna be on it super late. Um, so what I want to do, right? Because I want to update a story that I did a long, long time ago. Yo, what's going on, Twin? What's going on, Tracy? And those of the people who used to follow me, you know what I'm saying, a long time ago, know the kind of videos that I used to make and stuff like that. And I'm gonna get back to it, you know what I'm saying, because I understand. Let me see. All right, hold on, because it's already freezing up. So hold on, let me get it right. All right, but yeah, so I want to play something from like an old video that I had, and I understand that some people like only the old stuff that I used to do, and some people only like that live. Some people like both of them, and I'll get back to it eventually. But I'm not gonna lie, it does take a lot of time, and it is kind of hard. But that's why I try to do some of this stuff just on the live too, to still do what I was talking about. But this is one that I had 4 years ago, right, in 2019, right. And that's another thing, this is kind of when YouTube started kind of like blocking my channel. That's how I know it's like I don't want to just say, well, black people only care about this and that, because I understand how all this stuff work. They unsubscribe people, they hide their channel. They was giving me all kinds of strikes and stuff back then, you know what I'm saying. For some reason they stopped doing it as much, but I still try to show the same stuff. So um this is something that's about to go down like next week, you know what I'm saying. But I wanted to give you an update. But first, it was another part that I forgot all about, you know what I'm saying. But
In Flint, Michigan, a 5-year-old black boy, Jeremiah Caldwell, was set on fire by a 9-year-old little white boy.
I'm not breathing on his own. They got him on a whole bunch of machines, and he gotta have a scan graft Friday. He burned it all. I'm sorry.
Hard to hear that from that mother. Police say a 5-year-old Flint boy is in critical condition after being badly burned. That's that little boy there. We spoke, as you heard her.
According to Moz, Jeremiah, who's in preschool, was playing in front of the next-door neighbor's house with a 9-year-old boy when the incident happened. She feels the other little boy should be held responsible for what she claims he did to her son.
I was at church, and my 15-year-old came in and said, "My Jeremiah on fire at home." I said, "What?" He said, "Jeremiah on fire at home." I flew around here, and Jeremiah was still there on the sidewalk, and he was burned real bad with a towel over him. When he got to the hospital, I asked him. He said he lit the fire and threw it on.
My thoughts would first go out to the family and the child.
now, in this case here, a little 9-year-old little white boy, you know what I'm saying. Now, I know a lot of people like get offended, like, because like I don't have no discrimination for like little Neanderthals either, you know what I'm saying. It's the same thing, but people get offended, like, oh no, those are just kids and stuff like that. But that's why I wanted you to see like how they have that energy, because like, where's that energy with our kids, you know what I'm saying. They running around setting them on fire. And well, with this particular case, it's not the one I want to talk about, right? But there there isn't any updates on this one, because they let that little white boy go, you know what I'm saying. Nothing happened, you know what I'm saying. He just set him on fire, you know. They didn't do anything to like that little white kid, you know what I'm saying. But let me go to the one that I wanted to update you on. Let me see.
She ended up shooting and killing a 6.
Now this white girl here, you know what I'm saying. Yeah. Now this white girl,
Like that
here, she ended up shooting and killing this 60-some-year-old dude. And back then they was calling her like the George Zimmerman wannabe. You know what I'm saying? So this is what happened,
21-year-old white girl, Hannah Payne. She ended up shooting and killing a 62-year-old man, Kenneth Herring.
Well, there's a young lady. She's locked up after allegedly tracking down a hit-and-run suspect and then killing him. Clayton County police say she is now facing murder charges. Investigators tell 11 Alive she could have easily avoided jail time.
Clayton County Police charged 21-year-old Hannah Payne with murder. Officers say it all started when she witnessed a crime in progress.
The witness to the hit and run.
Officers say a hit-and-run crash took place. They say 62-year-old Kenneth Herring slammed into an unknown victim's car and kept going. What about damage or injuries?
Not extensive damage on the vehicles.
No one was hurt. Officers say Payne saw Herring take off from the crime scene, so she followed him in her vehicle.
Trying to intercede since the subject left the scene.
She was allegedly hot on Herring's.
Now, this white bitch had nothing to do with it. This brother, and as you'll see, was having a medical crisis while he was driving, you know, and he was trying to get to the hospital. You know what I'm saying? But she had nothing to do with it, so she started stalking this brother.
Tail and caught up with him about a mile away. And investigators say she cut in front of his vehicle, forcing him to stop.
Law enforcement experts say if you see a crime in progress and no one's life is in danger, be a really good witness. Make sure you call 911, give your location and a description of the vehicles or people involved. Then after that, let the professionals handle the rest. So in this case, should have Payne stayed in the car?
Correct. We recommend that people stay in the car.
Payne allegedly became more than just a witness.
An altercation then ensued between the two of them, and during the altercation, Mr. Herring was shot and killed.
Officers say
Hannah Payne, the 21-year-old woman who is charged in this case, witnessed that hit and run, followed Herring as he took off about a mile away. She got to this intersection, she cut him off and got out of her car with a gun.
An altercation then ensued between the two of them, and during the altercation, Mr. Herring was shot and killed.
Hannah appeared in court this morning. Her attorney talked to us after she was in court and told us that it didn't end up that way. He tells us that after Herring got caught off by Payne, she confronted him, and then there was a struggle. She says that Herring tried to pull Payne into his car. She had her gun with her, and at some point, that gun went off.
Right. So, you know, you see the story, right? And, you know, I talked about it. You can go back and watch this one if you, you know, missed anything. But basically, the brother was trying to get to the hospital. You know what I'm saying? She followed him because, you know, he was having an emergency. He made her, like, clip a car or something. And she followed him, you know what I'm saying, pulled in front of this brother, you know what I'm saying, and then hopped out on him and then shot this 60-something-year-old older man, you know what I'm saying?
Self-defense.
Well, tonight, 21-year-old Hannah Payne is behind bars. Clayton County detectives say she crossed the line when she confronted a hit-and-run driver with her gun, and he ended up dead.
Fox 5's Jacqueline Schultz joins us live from Clayton County. Jacqueline, Payne's attorney is disputing the police version of events?
Yeah, she's describing, as she's being described tonight, as a woman who needed to defend herself from a violent man during the encounter. But police tonight are saying in the press conference that she was the aggressor here and why she ultimately was responsible for the shooting death of a 62-year-old man.
Hannah Payne, charged with murder without malice.
21-year-old Hannah Payne seemed to have tears in her eyes as she appeared in court for a charge of murder. Clayton investigators say Payne went too far when she drove after a car involved in a hit and run and confronted the getaway driver. 62-year-old Kenneth Herring shot dead.
Based on the facts and circumstances that had come out during the investigation, they warranted the murder charge. The information I've received is that she was trying to get him to return to the scene.
Tuesday evening, Clayton police explained why Payne should be behind bars. Detectives say Payne witnessed a hit and run near Clark Howell Highway and Highway 85 when the 62-year-old hit a car and fled. They say Payne, a stranger, did call 911 and followed Herring for a mile to the corner of Riverdale Road and Forest Parkway, where she allegedly used her Jeep to block him in. Investigators say she got out of her car, had her gun, and confronted him. And during an argument and a struggle, her gun was discharged and Herring was shot and killed.
It just seems like it's an unfortunate situation of a good Samaritan trying to stop a person on a hit and run. She was in fear of her life. She felt that she needed to pull that gun to defend herself.
Defense counsel Matt Tucker disputes the police version of events and argues that Herring turned violent during the encounter. Clayton investigators say they're still investigating her version.
It's my contention that it was a struggle that ensued, and that's his part of pulling her into the vehicle and grabbing on her and making comments to her. She had a ripped shirt, she had scratch marks on her, she had a mark on her face. There should be handprints of his and hers on the gun.
Get out of the car now. Why am I being apprehended? You trying to give me a ticket?
Oh yeah, so all right, so this happened, right? And y'all remember when well, I don't know if y'all remember, but this murder happened when they released the Sandra Bland video, which was 4 years after what they did to her. You know what I'm saying? And you know, this is the Sandra Bland
For your
video.
failure?
I ain't gonna play it.
Why am I being apprehended? You just opened my car door. You just opened my car door. So you threatening to drag me out of my own car.
Get out of the car.
And then you gonna stun me?
I will light you up. Get out.
Wow.
Now.
Wow.
Get out of the car.
For a failure to signal. You doing all of this for a
Get
failure
over
to
there.
signal. Right, yeah. Yeah, let's take this to court. Let's do
Go
it.
ahead.
For a failure to signal. Yep, for a failure to signal.
Get off the phone.
On my school.
Get off the phone.
I'm not on the phone. I have a right to
Put your
record. This
phone
is my
down.
property. This
Put
is
your
my
phone
property.
down.
Sir?
Put your phone down right now.
Right, so you know, and then they were like, oh, they found her, and now some people was like, oh, that's when she was already dead right here. But anyway, you know, this case that I'm talking about was happening even then, you know what I'm saying? But now let me talk to you about you know, oh yeah, by the way, this is some of the stuff about how they were responding, and they was trying to like rally up and stuff like that, you know, to get this white girl off.
On a hit and run. Matt Tucker, who's the attorney in either one of them, but I digress. Also, which is more shocking, there is a group known as the Road to Power who has made it their life's goal to let everyone know how they feel about Negroes, as they put it, and this situation in defense of Hannah Payne, where Payne's family has yet to condemn the actions of this racist organization. Take a listen.
Being charged with murder, something that never would have happened if it was a white, mature male who got shot because he chose to physically struggle with a young female. But due to the anti-white lie that Negroes are victims, she's been cast as the criminal, when in fact, it was the Negro. Negroes aren't Americans. They aren't even fully human. Time to send them all to Africa. They don't fit in here. They don't belong. In your heart, you know it too. Hannah Payne did nothing wrong. Tell the district attorney of Clayton County, Georgia. Free Hannah Payne. This message being filmed by the RoadToPower.com.
All right, so you know they were sending that stuff to the DA, you know, saying like, yeah, Negroes aren't American, you know what I'm saying, you know. So, you know, this is what's going on with it right now, right? Because this white bitch still hasn't, you know what I'm saying, even, like, she got arrested, but she hasn't been to jail or nothing, you know what I'm saying? So, let me play it.
Everybody meet Hannah Payne, 21-year-old white woman who killed this man, Kenneth Herring.
So y'all know what happened already.
Self-defense. She cut on her to fall at the scene of the crime and let police handle it. But Hannah didn't do that. So what Hannah did is she cut Kenneth off a mile down the road from the accident, and she pulled out her firearm and told him to go back. Meanwhile, this entire time, Kenneth was having a medical emergency, and he was rushing to the hospital to get suffering from a firearm wound, and they rushed him to the trial completely disarmed. You would think Hannah would be convicted of murder, not to mention traffic violations as well. But no, Hannah has had her trial completely dismissed for all these reasons.
Now, yeah, what's going on, Consider? And you know, I was just showing them how I was talking about this back, and this happened in 2019, like May or June or something like that. In 2019, 4 years ago, right? Well, she killed this brother who was having a medical emergency, and he like might have sideswiped the car or something like that because he was on his way to the hospital, but he was having a medical emergency. And so this white girl found it in her heart to go chase down this brother.
And it just keeps going.
to go chase down this brother and shot and killed him. And, you know, they used to call her, you know, Zimmerman 2.0. You know?
But no, Hannah has had her trial completely dismissed for all these reasons, and it just keeps going. But not only did this incident happen in 2019, the last dismissal of this trial happened in November of 2022. But you want to know the irony? Her defense attorney had a health emergency, even though there was no proof of the illness. Yet the trial still got dismissed. And Hannah still hasn't been charged for the death of this man. And here we are in 2023. For the 9th time, Hannah is finally going to trial in October of this month of this year. So I want to bring full attention to this trial and make sure justice is served, because no citizen should pull out a gun. So here's this petition that was started in 2020, yet I'm bringing it back to light because Kenneth deserves justice.
All right. Thank you, John Brown. All right. So, but, you know, now 8 separate times, you know what I'm saying, they have dismissed this case, you know what I'm saying, where this white bitch shot this brother, this elderly brother, 62-year-old brother, you know what I'm saying. So the last time the judge acted like he had a heart attack or something like that. I don't know if he's like trying to mock him or whatever, but, you know, they ended up dismissing the case, right? So let me see. I'm gonna show you what happened on the last in the court. They take this stupid stuff off, but all right. So this is a judge here in the case. There's a sister that's a judge here.
There, however, is no indication that he had a stroke. So I cannot go forward with the trial today because Ms. Payne is not represented. But what I will tell you, Ms. Payne, is you need to seriously seek new counsel. I am going to find that Mr. Tucker is in contempt of court. He failed to follow the rules of court in notifying the court. I am going to also file a grievance with the State Bar of Georgia because of his behavior. This is not the first time I've had an issue with him failing to come and come on time. He's doing you a disservice because you've been here, and you have a right to have counsel who's going to be diligently representing you and advocating. Those of you who are here for that trial are free to go. There will be another trial, however, and we have my ready list. You know you need to be ready. So we're calling lawyers who should. I see Mr. Jones in the audience. That you're not ready to go for it, right? You have an issue, medical issue. So your staff has been advised. So there's some trials that will go on. If y'all have the ready list, we're calling. I think
maybe see if Judge Scott will let you have her trial meets for the 5th and the 12th.
I don't know what to do at this point because you all know here in this circuit, we have very definite days that we're having trial. I already have a trial specially set in December. I have just trial specially set up until April.
No, this white girl did it. No, this white girl here. Let me see.
Officers say
this white girl killed his brother. You know what I'm saying? This is just a judge.
April, is that right? 2023. I have another 2019 specially set murder trial.
I just wanted to give the family and the witnesses some
clarity.
clarity.
I know, and I want everyone, I mean, for each side, I want the family to know, I want the defendant to know when this trial can possibly go, but it's not going to go too long. So I may have to go back and talk to some of the other attorneys about the dates that I've already specially set that are more recent than the 2019 case that I have here to see what I can do. But certainly, Ms. Payne should, so that this
is the white girl here, considering who shot this brother, acting like she thinking like I guess she was like George Zimmerman or something, you know. So, but she been home for like the last 4 years now. Yeah.
Who are the attorneys who are here that are on the radio? I gotta have you approach with him.
All right, so anyway, they're supposed to have this trial like next week or sometime like either like this week, like by Friday or something, or the beginning of next week, right? So
A follow-up on the case of this vigilante Karen, aka Hannah Payne. If you recall, in 2019, she was the individual who decided to chase and then end the life of 69, spend a day in jail for what she's done, that he shot himself. She shot this man. She then told the 911 operator that he shot himself. This incredible story gets worse because this woman has yet to spend a day in jail for what she's done. She has been at home on home arrest, and that's it. She has yet to stand trial for this egregious act. And when she showed up in court in November, her attorney did not. This attorney of hers also neglected to inform the court that he had allegedly suffered a stroke, therefore delaying her accountability more. After doing some digging, I've discovered that she will stand trial on October 23rd of this year. So stay tuned for the coverage of that, because they're attempting to keep it quiet so we don't know. And let's hope that Kenneth Herron will finally get the justice that he deserves, when all he was doing was trying to save his own life by going to the hospital. Do you all think she'll be held accountable for what she did? Just so you know, she is charged with the following: murder felony, murder malice, aggravated assault, false imprisonment, and 3 counts of weapon possession.
now I wonder how the hell could she have been home with all of them charges on her? But that's a whole nother thing, right? But that's the whole point of I wanted to show this one, because I talked about this a long time ago, and this white bitch here never did anything for killing this elderly brother who was already having medical condition, and then she talking about he shot himself. And apparently she's supposed to go to trial now, but I showed you like days ago, right? Like how like they be like, yo, like, yeah, we just have to bomb these children because it's to protect ourselves, right? But we rely on other people's, and that was the whole point of me even used to do those videos I did, not to like be like, oh, look what they're doing all of this. It's to show you the methods and everything that they use. It's like, because a lot of people really just don't get it for real. And so I wanted you to see like not only what they was doing, but the tactics that they use. You know what I'm saying? And even to this day, right? This white girl is good. She's at home. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully we ain't protesting outside of her house. You know what I'm saying? Like 50 years from now, before she die or something like that. And then you be like, oh, now you get justice when you're dead, because she was like 23. That brother was like 65, 69, something like that. It's just crazy. So when I say what I say, like it's like you see how freely they are, because like me, it is what it is, right? They children is just like them. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm gonna show you in the next one. Now check this out, right? Now this just happened not too long ago in Denver, right? Where this 12-year-old boy got stabbed by, what I'm saying, his white friend.
I'm angry, but just happy it wasn't worse.
These past few
This is his father speaking.
I'm angry, but just happy it wasn't worse.
These past few days have been tough for the Temple family. 1 week ago, 12-year-old Teddy was in art class when another student came after him.
And then I just see the door open, and then he just rushes at me, and then he stabs me in my head. And then I thought it was a roller, and then I started seeing like my blood, like it started coming down. I started screaming.
Teddy says his friends called 911, getting paper towels for his head. He says he ran to the nurse's office for help and was quickly sent to Children's Hospital.
And so when I got there, his head and face was all bloody, and the doctors was all around him. It was just heartbreaking.
Teddy's dad, Theodore, says the classmate who attacked his son used to be his friend, but over the last year, he says the student would call Teddy racial slurs, even making threats against him. He believes.
Now, this is in Colorado. I know a lot of us is repping Colorado right now, but when we are off the football field and stuff like that, this is what's going on out there, right? Now, we see that, just because I had to bring in another demonstration of what self-defense looks like, you know what I'm saying? I just wish we had the same energy when it came to our own.
Even making threats against him. He believes the color of Teddy's skin is why his son was attacked.
It was just totally because of his race. There was this
Oh, damn, I was missing y'all comments. I wasn't even seeing it. Yeah. Is that the judge allowed her, and he's still breathing? Yeah, he probably won't get justice. Kyle Rittenhouse, same thing. He was free after he shot 3. Yeah, facts, twin. It's just crazy. What's going on, Deacon? Yeah, no hate crime, no nothing. They don't even notice, they don't even show the white boy, release his name, none of that,
Why his son was attacked.
It was just totally because of his race. There was this whole reason why. And he had every intention of killing him. He fractured his skull.
Now that student is facing charges, including attempted murder and bias-motivated crime. In court today, Theodore says hearing details of what the student was planning was terrifying.
Even now, when I saw the child in court, I mean, to be honest, he looked small, innocent.
He looks small and innocent, you know what I'm saying? Listen, I've been saying it a long time, right? If they harm your babies, what else can we agree on to stop this? You know what I'm saying? Apparently, it only works if you have a shyster baby,
Innocent. His mother was crying. I mean, my heart breaks for them.
But 1 week after the attack, Teddy is slowly recovering. Theodore said what happened to his son and why is still hard to fully comprehend. Still, he's grateful it wasn't worse.
It's 2023. You can't even comprehend. Consider according to the young brother, he was sitting in class, and the little white boy just ran in randomly with some scissors and just ran up and stabbed him in the head, and then he kind of pushed him off. Well, he was like, I thought it was a ruler or something at first, but he started bleeding, and then he ran to the nurse's office and stuff.
Thankful no one else got hurt.
After he was stabbed, Teddy received staples in his head and stitches in his shoulder. 1 week later, he tells me he's already feeling a lot better with minimal pain. His dad, Theodore, says he's relieved that the suspect is being held accountable after such a severe attack on his...
Yeah, quote unquote accountable, like the white bitch, right? And they protect, they're gonna protect them. But check it out, because this young brother thought this little white boy was his friend. You know what I'm saying? It's like we think everybody is our friends. But
Prosecutors say the stabbing of an African-American 7th grader last week was racially motivated. Now a 12-year-old Hispanic boy has been charged with 7 counts, including attempted murder and bias-motivated crime.
Now, as we just mentioned, the victim in this case is Black and the suspect Hispanic. Investigative reporter Rob Lowe broke the story.
Right, the person is Black and the suspect Hispanic. I was one of them white Hispanic little boys, right? But the little boy was quote unquote Hispanic, right? Ain't that something? One of your brown allies, one of your allies, and they ran out of places to stab you in the back, so they stabbed this young 12-year-old brother in the head. You feel me?
Hispanic investigative reporter Rob Lowe broke the story online earlier today and spoke with the victim's father after the suspect made his first court appearance.
The stabbing of 12-year-old Teddy Temple by a 12-year-old Hispanic classmate at Marie Greenwood Academy last Thursday is disturbing on a number of levels. The 7th grader stabbed in the head, neck, and shoulder by a boy filled with racial hatred, according to the victim's father. Did he ever use the N-word towards your son?
Yes, frequently.
To his face?
Yes, to his face, online.
Ted Temple is the victim's dad and is pleased the district attorney is including a hate crime charge to the attempted murder case, especially after he says prosecutors revealed the suspect had a hit list.
Now, this little white Hispanic boy had a damn hit list of all the people he wanted to kill, including the black principal. Yeah, his so-called friends.
Revealed the suspect had a hit list.
He had a list of people and their race that he was going to kill. He brought a BB gun and a knife to school. He bought a BB gun through the evidence found because he couldn't find a real gun. He couldn't get his hands on a real gun.
Temple says his son's name was first on the hit list, but says the school principal, who is also black, told him his name was on the list too. Just a week before the attack, Temple says he had been told the suspect was disciplined for repeatedly calling a female student the N-word.
Where did he get this from?
Now, this black principal said he disciplined this little white kid for saying the N-word to a black girl, right? But, you know, he's still in school, and the damn principal ready to get Columbine. You know what I'm saying? You know how they do. You know how they do it. You know, like they've created like a public school system in like the 1830s or the 40s. And I think they had their first school shooting by like the 1850s or 60s or something like that, or 70s, 1870s. It only took like a couple years, you know what I'm saying? And most of them wasn't even going to school yet. So like, but anyway.
At this age, this much hate.
Temple says prosecutors revealed in court the suspect was fascinated with Nazi paraphernalia and had researched hate crimes online. He had been researching the Timothy McVeigh bombing in Oklahoma City?
He researched that, other school shootings, bombings or something like that, yeah.
We blurred the suspect.
Now check this out, right? This is the young brother that got stabbed, and they blur the little white boy face out, but show the young brother who got stabbed face, you know what I'm saying? But blur his damn face out. But this is supposed to be his little friend.
Something like that, yeah.
We blurred the suspect's face, but this is a photo of him with Teddy earlier this year when they were on better terms.
My son, Teddy, he told me that actually this summer, when they were still friendly, that he talked the other child out of committing suicide.
Damn, I bet he wish he ain't did that, right? Well,
When they were still friendly, that he talked the other child out of committing suicide.
Ain't that something? But, you know, when they were supposedly friendly, and then, but, you know, it's something that we always do. We lay our bodies down in front of everybody else, but then when it comes to our issues, you know what I'm saying, is, you know, we just get stabbed in the back, right? That's what I'm saying. I bet he would. If I can go back in time, I would tell. I go back to the Moors and tell them stop trying to teach them how to use washcloths and soap and stuff. Let it go. Let the dark ages take its course. You know what I'm saying? Now at this high school, right? Now check it out, right? Now it was like black girl gets jumped by pretty much everyone on campus, and it looked like ain't nothing but like little white kids at their schools, because like it's like I tell you, it's like whatever season it is, you know what I'm saying? Now that they're back in school, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna see more incidents in schools. It happens like the same way every year, all the time. Like you could tell what time of year it is by the kind of stuff. Like something else. I could have predicted, like for Halloween, they got black people hanging up, you know what I'm saying, like they're being lynched and stuff like that. And I ain't even sure it on this one, but yeah, of course, there's already incidents of that. It's probably gonna be several of those. You can predict it, but watch this, you know. Whole damn school jumped with this black girl. Now Now, this little black girl probably would have beat the hell out of each one of them individually, you know what I'm saying? But now, in too many cases like this, I've seen like where the black student will get suspended or something like that. Like you started it, you know what I'm saying? But you see. All right, you know, let me see. All right, because I want you to see this here. Well, if it come up. All right, hold on, let me stop. All right, here we go. All right, so I don't think I'm gonna be able to, because for some reason, anytime I'm on here, like the articles don't work. Anytime that I'm on, when I'm live, like the articles don't work. But you know, they kind of just saying what was going on, like, you know, they was just, you know, bullying this young sister. So let me stop real quick because it ain't gonna. That's why I don't really play the articles and stuff like that. But all right, let me yeah, every time I do that, it frees up. All right, let me exit out of here so I can get back on it. I shouldn't even show this. All right, here we go. All right, and then I'm gonna show something positive after this, you know, because you're definitely right, Cassandra. We definitely need to talk about how to build generational wealth and, you know, get more deep in on that kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? But also, like, you know, in Chicago, you know what I'm saying? Because we already know what's going on with the black population there, you know what I'm saying? And like MD2 mentioned it, like, but y'all do know that there's about to be a large package of money going over to Israel courtesy of you as a taxpayer, you know what I'm saying? But check out what's going on over here, like, you know.
What went wrong?
How are you? Somebody called and complained about you guys. You guys were involved in something damaging somebody's windows.
It's 8:50 in the morning. Quiet South suburban Sauk Village when these two kids, a boy and a girl, both 14, are stopped by police.
You ain't got nothing to do with me. What? Okay, you guys got your IDs on you?
Officer Seth Brown starts questioning the 8th graders about a broken window in the neighborhood.
Do me a favor, keep your hands out of your pockets, bro. Just keep your hands out of your pockets. You're coming out here to see friends? Okay.
He let go. The other, you'll be tased. Another charge, man. His friend then starts recording it all with her phone.
Listen.
Or it'll be another for criminal damage to property.
I'm gonna tell you something, dude.
His friend then starts recording it all with her phone.
Listen.
Or it'll be another charge.
You understand me?
There'll be another charge, man. Then listen to the conflicting messages from the different officers. One saying, you'll be let go. The other, you'll be tased. Right now, it's just her word against your word. If you want to make it another charge,
I'm gonna tase you.
you're going to get charged and let go. But then Officer Brown stays true to his word and uses his taser on the 8th grader, who starts screaming in pain.
They use the taser on what's known as a pain setting. The only purpose of using the pain setting is to cause maximum pain to the individual.
Attorneys Gabe Hardy and Al Hofeld Jr. filed a lawsuit against the Sauk Village Police Department for the teen we are not naming. But it didn't end with the taser. Here's what happened next.
Put your hands behind your back, man.
While being shocked by the taser, the teen runs. Then watch as Sergeant Langan pulls his duty weapon from his holster on his right side, a .40 caliber Glock. He aims it and fires. Here's another view. The bullet rips through the teen's hip. These photos were taken at the hospital.
Should a handgun have ever been pulled out and fired in this situation?
Absolutely not. It was
Now I'm gonna give y'all a chance to guess what the cop said what the excuse was, you know what I'm saying, why he shot him in the back, you know what I'm saying? Like what, a 15, 16-year-old or maybe 14-year-old, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It looked like they was walking home from school.
excessive, completely unnecessary. There was no justification whatsoever for this officer immediately drawing his firearm and shooting this 14-year-old kid.
The teen, now bleeding, runs from the officers.
Dude.
Sergeant Langan catches up and this time pulls out his taser as the teen jumps a fence.
Go around the block. You ran around the block.
What was this 14-year-old thinking while he was shot and hiding in a yard somewhere?
He was afraid they were coming after him. He was afraid they were going to shoot him again.
They shot him once for no reason. Why would they not shoot him again?
Why did Sergeant Langan shoot?
This is the cop right here, Cassandra. Yeah, you know. And now he about to say why he shot him.
Why did Sergeant Langan shoot? 2 weeks after this March of 2022 incident.
By the way, 2 weeks later, they get a statement from him about why he shot him. You know what I'm saying? That which is supposed to occur after the thing, but they was like, go ahead, take 2 weeks. Try to come up with a good lie or excuse, you know, take your time. And this is what he came up with.
Why did Sergeant Langan shoot? 2 weeks after this March of 2022 incident, Langan was questioned by state police and Cook County prosecutors. In this report obtained by the CBS 2 investigators, he claimed the shooting was an accident. He said he thought he grabbed his taser and didn't realize he grabbed his gun, and stated, "I'm completely sorry. I feel like I let everyone down. I have nothing else to say."
It sounded like a admission of guilt to me, but yeah, consider he was right. You know what I'm saying?
You think he should have known that he had a handgun in his hand?
He certainly should have known they had a handgun in his hand. He pulled the weapon from the holster that holds his handgun.
Keep in mind, the handgun in this case, the Glock, is nearly 5 times the weight of the taser.
Reckless?
Beyond reckless. And that is complete disregard and recklessness by you, the officer, not only endangering the individual that you are firing at, but the public in general.
Now, all week they've been telling us, right? Oh yeah, they'd have heard some little shyster boys and shyster girls, but we see they was like, yeah, so we have a valid response to show up and take what is ours, right? And for like 600 years, we'd be like, yo, they hurt our young children and all of this stuff. And yet we just try to get more into their society. Like, it's just crazy.
He had kept his gun and his taser mattered.
Yeah, he knew what he was doing.
Showing the sergeant's vest. It shows where he carried his taser. Then look at Officer Brown's gear. He had a separate holster on the other side of his body for his taser. There was a life-saving reason for this. A year earlier in Minnesota, an officer grabbed her gun instead of her taser and killed Dante Wright during a traffic stop.
Yeah, y'all remember that, right?
To make sure this type of incident didn't happen in Sauk Village, the police chief required officers to move their tasers to the opposite side of their body from their handgun, said Langan in his statement. But Langan just kept his taser Velcro to the front pouch of his vest.
When that officer made the decision to pull that handgun out of the holster,
yes,
he was pulling it from a side of his body.
Yeah, what's going on, Shanique?
Where the taser was never supposed to be.
Correct. And when he extends it out in front of him, It's with
2 years, and then they probably when she get out of jail, they'll probably give her a special position like they did that white bitch Betty Shelby, right? Who was in Oklahoma and Tulsa, you know, and they shot that brother. They made her like a police safety instructor or something like that, basically teaching them how to shoot people and get away with it.
within his range of vision. It's in fact, it's within his direct line of sight. So he sees the weapon before he pulls the trigger.
There seems to be other taser-related issues too. Sergeant Langan said the department gave him taser training only 2 or 3 times in the 10 years he carried one. But this department policy says at a minimum, officers should be trained every year.
Hey, what's going on, man?
The man with his hands up is the boy's guardian.
Think about it, consider she's out of jail before this white bitch even go to court, have a trial. You know what I'm saying? And the white bitch that killed that older brother did that before her. And she done went to jail and got out. And this white bitch ain't even had her trial yet.
Showed up on the scene after the injured teen, who was still hiding, called him to tell him he'd been shot by police.
The ambulance is coming up to check him out, okay? All right.
As paramedics arrived, the guardian begins asking police more questions.
He's saying you shot him for no reason.
No,
the girl said she got it on tape.
No, everything's on body cam, okay? Like the whole incident is okay.
Even the emergency medical technician started asking questions.
They trying to say that one of y'all shot him or something.
All right.
Now, you notice it was the, I guess, brother, EMT. It's like, yeah, what's going on now? Y'all done shot this little boy, you know what I'm saying? But it's awful calm, you know what I'm saying? Because I wish I did have that other clip where they be going off, but anyway.
As paramedics arrived, the guardian begins asking police more questions.
He's saying you shot him for no reason.
No,
the girl said she got it on tape.
No, everything's on body cam, okay? Like the whole incident is okay.
Even the emergency medical technician started asking questions.
They trying to say that one of y'all shot him or something.
All right.
Then the teen's handcuff is removed.
Hey, let me take that handcuff off.
And then he was transported to the hospital and treated for his gunshot wound. The broken window was never brought up again.
Do they ever arrest this 14-year-old?
They never arrest him. They never charge him. They never cite him.
Dude.
It's like it never happened?
It's like it never happened. And it looks and feels like contrition. Because they know, because they shot him unjustifiably.
It's now been a year and a half since the shooting, and the police department has yet to even start the disciplinary process. Last month, the Cook County State's Attorney's Office decided not to charge Sergeant Langan. The Sauk Village Police Chief says he was waiting on that decision before taking any action. Dave Savini, CBS 2 and
Right. So, you know, pretty much they wasn't even, you know what I'm saying, arresting them or nothing like that. But yeah, let me play this one last thing before I play, because this is just with another black student. I want to find something too.
13-year-old's parents are now taking action, standing up, hoping to put an end to the abuse this 13-year-old has suffered as a student at Concord Middle School. Emi Odunzi, the child's father, on the left, has reported his son's mistreatment by classmates on 3 separate occasions. He reported this to school officials. However, despite assurances from the school's principal, Justin Cameron on the right, about disciplinary action, no meaningful resolution has occurred according to the parents. Let me give you details of the abuse and you conclude yourself. The most recent incident transpired when the teen's participation in a football game with other kids. Look, that's the monkey in the middle, end quote. A white child yelled to his friend. According to the Boston Globe, the taunting quickly escalated when the boy grabbed a makeshift whip and allegedly said, "Hey, let's whip Odunzi's son because he's black." The father states that the ringleader of the bigotry was still present at school on Friday, October 6th, according to him. The principal mentioned that the child was in school because, but was facing an in-school suspension. One of the first acts of violence Odunzi's son endured occurred when a white girl at the school slapped him across the face. Just a day after actor Will Smith assaulted Chris Rock at the 2022 Academy Awards, the family told the Globe. The young man's father, who has since retained legal counsel, believes this incident was also racially motivated. Not only has the family secured a lawyer, but the family has filed reports with the Concord Police Department. So let me give you the response from the school system. The school's spokesperson, Thomas Lucy, made a statement about the radicalized violence on campus, but was careful not to address the specific case in question. Instead, the representative submitted links to the school's 5-year strategic plan and a plan for diversity, equity, inclusion, belonging, and anti-racism for the academic community. The third part of the plan aims to foster an, quote, inclusive culture through regular teaching development and celebrating diverse cultures. So let me give you some past incidents. Nevertheless, the schools have faced a similar situation previously. So in 2020, Black parents of Concord's Metco Families Collective urged officials to address racial injustices their children faced on campus. One Metco mom, Akil Obas, said at a March 2022 Concord Carlisle Joint School Committee meeting that there are microaggressions the Black students feel that they do not understand. So here's the reality. When that parent went to the school, assuming that discipline did occur because of the severe nature of this bullying, he sees the student at the school. Principal says, well, listen, what else do you want us to do? He is facing in-school suspension. They would not deal with another type of bullying incident in that way. Typically, they would, in fact, suspend the student, physically expel the student, place the student in alternative learning away from that campus. But in this case, they don't do that. Well, that's called culture. It's culture. And the reason why the school system has everything right on paper, but everything wrong in execution is because of culture. You can say the right thing on your policy, and they actually do. Their policy seems to be robust, inclusive. They have a plan, a protocol, a strategy. They have a strategy for students, a strategy for teachers, a strategy for principals, but they have no strategy to change the culture, which means you got to change the people. There are individuals there who will pass your test. There are people there who have learned how to check the right boxes on something you place on paper. But when it comes to the execution and the follow through, they are operating by the lens of culture. So you cannot talk transform.
All right, my bad. I had to find something real quick. My bad, y'all. So, all right. Now, I wanted to show that part because, we talking about, you know what I'm saying, like how they're treating our children and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't know when we're going to get tired of that, Yeah, this is what this has produced, you know what I'm saying? So, and let me bring this up real quick, all right? Because I want to show you one something else, and then I'm gonna go out with something positive, all right? I'm not gonna be on here too much longer, but I want to show you something so I can get to the next thing here. I gotta pull it up real quick. I had to find it. My bad. But speaking of like school or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, that's an important reason why you got to do that kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? See, now it's gonna like freeze up because I want to bring in one more thing that is going kind of prove my point because I haven't been on here long. So Y'all give me 1 second. My bad. Hold on, y'all, because it's freezing up. Yeah, for some reason it won't work, but because one thing I'm gonna show is probably gonna piss some of y'all off. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully I'll be able to bring it up, but it's like my whole screen that went black now. I can't even see nothing on here. I probably shouldn't even did that. All right. All right, so damn, hopefully it come up. I hope it don't knock me off. If it knock me off, I'll be right back on. All right. So it's definitely not coming up. I'm trying to um damn, it always mess me up when I get to this part, but I'm gonna give it 1 second. If it don't come up, I don't know. I guess I have to um I might have to come back if I have to start my computer off, then I might have to just come back another time. So let me give it 1 second. But if anybody want to say something about it, you're definitely welcome to come on here. All right, here we go. I hope. Yeah, I don't know. It's coming up and then it's freeze again. I don't know what's going on here. I'm trying to close it out so it'll work. But yeah, if any of y'all want to come on here, if not, then I'm gonna just go because hopefully it'll come back in a second. Damn, I think it took out my whole thing. I shouldn't even do that. All right, all I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put the link in here because it took it out. If it don't come back up, I'm definitely gonna have to come back next time because it took out my whole thing. So I'm gonna put the link in here and then hopefully I can get it to come back up. See, every time I do that, I don't know, man. All right, I think it came. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think it just knocked out my whole thing. Yeah, education is definitely the hot spot. Cause I wanted to show y'all something like and for some reason it's just not working. Every time that I get on here, it mess up the same way. All right, let me see, cause I can bring it back up real quick. All right, it's coming back. It just keep freezing every time it come back.
Searching for a new Chevrolet? The search is open.
All right, y'all give me 1 second. Yeah, I know, man. It just knocked the whole thing out. And it wasn't like a lot of stuff. It was something important that I wanted to show. Um all right. Damn. Yeah, that's crazy. So yeah, man. So yeah, man. If, y'all want to come up here? Y'all can come up here, cause I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get it back. I really want to though. Um. Yeah, and this is why I was trying to show you, because I wanted to show like something positive when I was talking about because I was talking about, because you're absolutely right when you was talking about building your own stuff. Consider I was going to like start trying to like bring up something positive about um generating black wealth and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? And then another thing that I wanted y'all to see, all right, okay, I got you. All right, give me 1 minute, y'all. I got it now because it's starting to work, and now it's coming back up. All right. All right, give me one more second, y'all. All right, I got everything here. You know what I'm saying? Just give me one more second. I got y'all. My bad. I'm sorry, y'all. The whole thing just like froze up. Okay. All right. That's my bad, y'all. That's my bad. Oh yeah, I gotta get the most important one that I wanted y'all to see too. Now it's gonna be probably now it's not even back in the right order. That's crazy. Okay. So all right. Let me share the screen. Damn. Now the other one that I wanted to show y'all is missing. Okay, here we go. All right, so let me just do this before it cut out on me again. All right. All right, so my bad, y'all. My bad. I appreciate y'all staying on there. Oh, y'all having a conversation in there. All right. My bad, y'all. My bad for that one. It straight cut out on me. All right. Now,
over at Haley Chevrolet Midlothian.
speaking of school and
Right
stuff
now,
like
you can-
that, speaking of school, now I know y'all seen Harvard's first black president or whatever, right? Now this is her coming up here taking her oath. You know?
Harvard's culture is being reshaped before our eyes. The first black and only the second woman is inaugurated as Harvard University president.
I stand before you on this stage with the weight and the honor of being a first, able to say, I am Claudine Gay, the president of Harvard University.
The downpour symbolic of the resilience required to navigate political storms ahead.
It is a game changer. If you want to do something around diversity, bring people with lived experience who understand and have a sense of urgency around impacting the diversity within their institution. Put them in charge.
I earned my doctorate here at Harvard University.
Dr. Douglas, the state's first black woman cabinet member, a former secretary of Consumer Affairs and Business Regulations, is an inaugural guest. She shares photos from
All right, so you hear her, you know. So this first black now in the like 2 weeks since she's been there, right? So now they already like a week in, right? So she got national president because she won't like condemn like or she won't pick sides in this Palestine Israel thing, right? So a group of Harvard students, right? So they said something about it and blamed Israel, right? So now all of these people is coming at her because she said she's not going to punish these students. So now they coming at her, right? And do you know the things that she get for protecting them, right? So they started creating fake AI to mock this sister here. You know what I'm saying? But and so then this our Israeli billionaire, right? They resigned from the executive board of Harvard after she became like the president.
Israeli billionaire Idan Ofer and his wife are resigning from the executive board of Harvard's Kennedy School. They said their decision comes after Harvard University's President Claudine Gay failed to condemn the letter by several student organizations blaming Israel for the Hamas attacks.
Right. So pretty much the the Israeli billionaire is backing out, Now let me see, I was gonna show something else with that, but I kind of threw me off because I don't got everything that I was gonna show with that. So I'm gonna just kind of go past that, you know what I'm saying? Um all right, now let me bring up this next two things and then I'm gonna go to something positive, all right? And hopefully it comes up. Okay. Now, all right, let me hurry up because I want to show y'all one particular thing here. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. I'm not even sharing it. My bad, y'all. Now, all right. So now I want to play this for you because we just don't seem to understand. You know what I'm saying? Just go to the last thing I want to show y'all. Right. All right. Now listen to this. All right.
And to call terrorism time, to call out hatred, and to call terrorism. I will say even more unfortunate is the fact that on college campuses across America, Jewish students do not feel safe. Signs and banners are hung across college campuses in America that talk about how the attacks, the terrorism against Jews by Hamas was justified. Signs and banners saying things like, this is what decolonization looks like. Signs and banners that whip up frenzy and a hatred against Jews. And I got to say, there has to be a better balance of free speech.
Yeah, she wasn't gonna be there for too long. Malik God, what up, bro? I don't. Yeah, what y'all talking about?
And the protection of Jews, young Jewish, I say children because for you and me, they are children, Mike. These young students on college campuses. And right now, make no mistake of it, Jews on college campuses, especially elite college campuses across America, do not feel safe. And I want to know what university presidents and what the boards are going to do about that.
I'm going
No,
to
you
tell
already
you
know the
why
answer.
single morning of African American students. Never once there has been story after story after story about African American students being harassed and bullied, not only by other fellow students, but by staff at these elite.
Now I had a point to that from based off what I was talking about at first, you know what I'm saying? But that's the point, right? Nobody's going to protect us but us. And when we understand, what time it is to do that, you know what I'm saying? So all right, I'm gonna hurry up because that threw me off anyway. But I want to show you one other thing, right?
You're the only continent in the entire world where someone can't call themselves African based on the color of their skin.
Hey, bestie, have you considered?
So this white girl said that
And other
said clowns think that white people can't be from Africa, you know what I'm saying? So she's saying that she's African, but
like me.
All right, so clowns think we not from Africa as white people. We must go back to Europe, but never been there, right? Yeah, exactly. You know, now the thing about this, right? Now check this out, right? Because in Europe, I don't know what the hell is going on in Europe, but right now they going through a massive bug infestation. You know what I'm saying? Now I missed our conversation.
As Paris prepares to roll out the Olympic welcoming mat, some unwelcome visitors are already in town. The entire city is infested with bed bugs from people's
All up in France and you know what I'm saying, all over Europe. You know what I'm saying?
living rooms.
Là, on en voit pas mal des œufs.
This exterminator says, here we see the excrement of the bed bugs, some eggs, which are stuck especially behind the seams.
Yeah, consider I ignore that Britney person. He's probably just a troll.
Paris Metro and high-speed trains.
Donc j'ai un peu fait attention en arrivant.
This commuter says, I paid close attention while stepping on the train today to see if there were crawlers on my seat.
Alors moi, ça m'a vraiment traumatisée.
While another says she kept her luggage closed while traveling, but is still paranoid. This is what one woman says the biting bug.
See, they worry about everything else. They need to be worried about what the hell this bug infestation. Now, this got something to do with what I'm gonna play after this. You know what I'm saying? Because I know it's probably pissed some of y'all off. You know what I'm saying?
Pas mal des œufs.
This exterminator says,
I'm just
here
saying,
we
right?
see
You
the
see
excrement
war,
of the bed
bugs.
some eggs, which are stuck especially behind the seams. To the Paris Metro and high-speed trains.
Donc j'ai un peu fait attention en arrivant.
This commuter says, I paid close attention while stepping on the train today to see if there were crawlers on my seat.
Alors moi, ça m'a vraiment traumatisée.
While another says she kept her luggage closed while traveling, but is still paranoid. This is what one woman says the biting bugs did to her back while she watched a movie at a Paris theater. For French officials, the invasion means war.
À la veille des Jeux Olympiques.
This lawmaker says, as the Olympics near, we must raise awareness on the right ways to prevent and get rid of them.
En fait, elles vivent dans le bois.
Authorities are mobilizing the masses to eradicate the pests.
C'est un peu la panique.
This specialist says, with all that's happening, everyone is panicking a bit. But people need to know that we can get the bed bugs under control with the right help.
Yeah, I know Malik. Malik been there for a minute. Malik cool, but you know, yeah, consider it is the truth. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what y'all was talking about. Shanique said, reading the comments, and where did you lie? Nowhere. Yeah, I guess I gotta go back and see what y'all was talking about. But anyway, you know, this going on not just in France, right? Over in Europe. Period, you know what I'm saying?
You might want to put down your scrap plates.
Regardless of your political leanings.
Regardless of your Jack is already itching. If you're still in bed, then you might want to jump out of it, because what you're about to see is what one pest control company has called the worst case of bed bugs.
And Europe is, well, this is probably not in European history, but they ain't changed much, right?
Now, this might send a shivers down your spine. I recommend you might want to put down your scrap plates.
Regardless of your political leanings.
Regardless of your Jack is already itching. If you're still in bed, then you might want to jump out of it, because what you're about to see is what one pest control company has called the worst case of bed bugs
I ain't want to say
ever
that.
seen.
Yeah, pest
Let's have a
control
little
firms in London say they've been inundated with calls about out of
Oh,
control
no.
pests. I mean, that is.
Oh, it's like an episode of The Young Ones.
It's like when I went round to your house the other day.
Oh, don't start that.
It's not-
Don't
it's not-
start
What were you
that.
doing in Trust me, you go where you've got to
That's
go.
a whole nother story. Whole
We're
nother story.
Joined by pest
It's
control
going crazy
expert
in,
Dan Dobson. Dan,
over
thank
in
you
Europe.
for joining us this morning. Now, look, we've been talking a lot about this for the last month or so because of what we've seen in Paris. The questions are whether those bed bugs have come across the Eurostar, come across trains, come across flights. They are quite terrifying pictures. What's your sort of understanding of the increase in bed bugs and calls for pest control?
Yeah, so I think I know what the general thing is. Everyone's thinking, oh, there's been a massive infestation from France all the way through the
They're
trains.
invading.
Yeah, well, it may be true that, in fact, they have. It could, you know, they could have come over there from some extent. they've already been here, and they've been here for
a long
time. It's just, when do you ever talk, if someone's got a bad case of bed bugs, or indeed any pest, issue, when do you ever go,
I ain't finna be sick and die now. Damn. See, I don't have the other one. All right, give me 1 second. Hold on, let me see. All right, I got here it go. My bad, y'all. Because I just wanted to show y'all this, you know what I'm saying? Because it may to a lot of y'all, because I'm pretty sure you Malik, YouTube, bro, like Shanique, Cassandra, y'all gonna feel some type of way about this other one. Okay. Yeah.
African countries like Morocco and Algeria are taking health measures to protect their people from the France bedbug situation. You might have already heard about this. In France, there's currently a spread of bedbugs, and people are concerned that the blood-sucking insects could now come to Africa because of the French. Let me show you the clip of people panicking in France. We'll come back and discuss.
Algerian authorities have announced the tightening of health measures at border crossings to avoid the spread of bedbugs, which have recently invaded French cities. The ministry, in accordance with various authorities, activated the health vigilance system to prevent bedbug infiltration. According to the ministry, the procedure includes health monitoring and disinfecting of aircraft, ships, and means of land transportation.
So pretty much like African countries got to shut down these dirty, you know what I'm saying, Europeans, because they bring in bugs and diseases all over. They got to spray down their airplanes, and it's just better to just lock the country down, I guess.
The event of a threat noticed by employees of border health control centers.
People on social media, specifically Africans, were celebrating the measures African countries were taking against French travelers or people that are coming from France because of the situation. Because people are used to hearing the other way around. Like, we're so used to these Western countries putting in measures and scanning people from Africa because we are carrying Ebola, we are carrying malaria. So they give us hell when traveling because we are from Africa. So now when the tables have turned and they have a situation going on and Africans are actually taking measures to protect their own and scanning the widespread blood-sucking insects.
All right. So, you know, y'all get it. Oh, yeah, this was supposed to go at first, you know. Listen to South Africa. Now, tell me how y'all feel about this, right? The South African Union, South Africa threatening you leave the African Union because they was talking about trying to observe Israel or let them in or whatever.
I begin by saying the world is a very troubled place, and I don't want us to pretend that it is easy. It's not. We are faced with a very challenged world. I realized this when in 2021 I was sitting in a summit of the Executive Council of the African Union, and it was whispered to me that the African Union Commission chairperson had issued an invitation to Israel to become an observer at the African Union. Imagine my horror. I decided at that moment that I would raise my arm and would propose that this decision be rescinded. I walked around the room seeking supporters. Of the 54 nations, I got 3. And I include SADC in that. But I said, nevertheless, this is not going to happen. I therefore lifted my arm and said, I wish to table a matter. I have learned of this, and as South Africa, we object to it, and it must not be implemented. We want our leaders to discuss it. and we will never accept it as South Africa. And while we appreciate the role that the Organization of African Unity played in us achieving our freedom as South Africa, this decision of the AU Commission chairperson will make us consider whether we can be present in the African Union.
Now, this sister is saying that to you. I guess tell me how y'all feel about it. This sister saying we cannot be part of that if you be dealing with these people who commit war crimes, especially against us. And because some people in the African Union want to let the Europeans in, but it go back to like even with the first black hard, what I'm saying, president. Right, she got to walk that. They already at her neck about this, and she only been on the job for a week, right? But since she took their stuff, you know what I'm saying. Also, this is what they did to like the white girl. The white girl tried to run up in there. Right, they don't even like black folk. Neither do the Arabs either, but they don't either. All right, so you see that. Now, even though this was out of order, y'all remember the bed bug thing. And if Shanique's still listening, Cassandra, probably Malik too, if I remember right. Y'all probably be offended by this, right? Now, I don't know if you've seen this movie here, right? The Book of Clarence, but and I'm not gonna play this. It's only a couple minutes, and I'm gonna show something positive, and we out of here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they need to close their damn borders. You know what I'm saying? And we not letting them into, well, none of us as groups. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so now they have this movie, showing like black people in the Bible, right? And I was showing the locust stuff and all that stuff before. You know what I'm saying? But check this out, right?
And he portrays Christ as a so-called black man. Basically, y'all can look at the video yourself. We're not going to go through the entire trailer. But there's a man named Clarence. He sees Christ and he gets envious of him and basically tries to replicate what he did. But I want to skip to the...
Yeah, she is right. Y'all agree with her. Yep, she going in. She was going in. And y'all can watch that whole thing. I just didn't want it to be drawn out because I wanted to show y'all and then go with something positive.
Point where they actually see Christ. Well, first, here's John. There goes John the Baptist, and they depict him as a brother. And then later, they see Christ and the 12 disciples. Watch this. There's the 12. There's Christ. They blur his face.
You can't even buy power like that. I want to be like that in 10 years.
But you see his hand is it's got melanin. What's the... Let me see, matter of fact. I'm going to see if I can pull up the actor. The blonde hair, blue eye,
the actor.
Jesus that a lot of our grandmothers, mothers, fathers, and aunties have, hanging up in our houses growing up. That we bow down to, that have been engraved into our minds and our subconscious, to now we look down on ourselves because we look the opposite of that white Jesus.
Yeah, we seen the episode of Good Times. It's like the episode of Good Times where, we put the black Jesus up, Florida like, no. Now, this brother was like, he's trying to point out some Asian dudes that got mad about this, you know what I'm saying?
A response to this video, response to the movie coming out. And just listen to the animosity that they speak of, a so-called Black Messiah with.
I forgot where it was, but
this is fair use. Just giving my thoughts and commentary on their video. But let me keep going.
It was a shot
it's a play
of them meeting with Jesus, and Jesus is in a cloak. You can't see his face or anything like that, but you see his hands, and his hands were black. Oh, there it is.
You hear the level? Put a one in the chat. Y'all see the disdain in their voice when they say they saw his hands in the movie. They saw Christ's hands, and his hands were black. Let me get a scripture real quick.
All right, and no disrespect to this brother. I just want to play the
quick
parts, right?
first line.
Because a lot of the stuff is him teaching his lessons and stuff. So if y'all weren't interested in that, y'all can check it out, I guess, you know. But I just wanted to play this part, right? I'm gonna skip through it
Also
as he
is
skipped through it.
rather upset at the thought of a black messiah. So we're gonna go into this, but before we do, y'all gotta make sure y'all like and share the video a few more times. So make sure y'all run it up. But let me start this video.
I recommend it highly. But before The Equalizer 3, one of the trailers that played was for a film that I previously had never heard of before, called The Book of Clarence. And after seeing that trailer, I immediately knew that not only did I definitely want to go see that movie, but also that I would be making at least probably 2 or 3 videos about the film.
Clarence, he made miracles all the blood. I can see! I can see! God sent me to deliver his message. I am your new Messiah. Stop that!
Saying is,
oh my
A
bad.
decent movie. Instead, is that this seems to be on its face one of the most blatant attempts of historical blackwashing I have ever seen. And
so what she is saying,
Yeah, I think
is
Ruda was black.
that this movie that's about to come out is an obvious case of historical blackwashing. Now, if anybody doesn't know what blackwashing is, it's the opposite of whitewashing. Whitewashing is a form of revisionist history.
Shut down your damn boy. They already had the Chinese virus, right? According to some people, right? And it's funny, right? Because the Denisovans, right? They literally discriminated against Africans for having a Chinese virus. It's like that's how, like, I guess that's how Denisovan logic works.
Where Europeans have gone throughout the annals of time, they've gone into history and they have depicted everybody as people that look like them. That's why when you watch the 10 Commandments, Moses is white, Pharaoh is white.
I don't mean to skip through all the stuff that he's talking about, but
And does she make several
I'm just
videos
trying to
about
show
those? No,
some
she
of
does
this
not.
so I can
But
read
when
through it quick.
regarding the
she's okay, we got to make 3 videos on it. Y'all see this? We're gonna dismantle her intellectually here in a second, but I want to let her go. I'm gonna keep letting her speak.
not only that, but we also got to throw in some blasphemy against Christianity because, of course, why not? But anyway, regarding the project Vanity Fair, which did this entire glowing piece about it, they write that this ambitious tale pulls in classic biblical figures like Jesus, Mary Magdalene, and John the
There was
Baptist.
locusts everywhere on earth.
Baptists, but all with an unexpected twist. Like in The Harder They Fall, writer-director Samuel puts black characters at the center of Clarence, exploding another classic Hollywood movie genre with a fresh take, full of humor and heart. Most of the stories told in the Old West didn't include people of color. We know they existed. We know we've been here just as long as anyone else, says Jay-Z, who produced the film and credits Samuel with finding fresh ways and perspectives to talk about these stories. You see, that's such a short quote, but there's so much to unpack there. The idea that people of color aren't featured in like biblical stories. Nazareth, Palestine, if we go Old Testament, Egypt, these are places where people of color inhabited.
Now, this brother, right? Because unfortunately, like, you know, the Mexicans are the East Arabs, you know what I'm saying? It's one and the same, okay? Gotta understand that, right? And we have no friends, right? And when she's saying people of color, she's saying that they were Arabs, not black. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't know if this brother picked up on that, but
so she admits Palestine, Egypt. I can't remember the other location she named. That people of color were there. She admits that the Levant region, people of color were.
Yo, what up, bro? I don't know how long you've been here, but yo, exactly, they are
there. So then the question begs, well, why don't we see them represented in paintings? Why don't we see them represented in movies? Why don't we see them represented in plays? I'm talking about plays, paintings, and movies that are featured about the Bible. Let's see what else she says.
They are people of color in these stories. Jesus himself, arguably a person of color. He was Hebrew. So I'm not
Trying
really
to say he was
sure if
Arab.
Samuel, the director of this film, is referring to the fact that, sometimes they use just white guys to portray Jesus, which, I mean, they also, if you know anything about worldwide Christianity, have depictions of Jesus being Korean or Black. And that's kind of what I think is amazing about Jesus, is that he's supposed to represent all people. And maybe
So
Yeah, I
she
already
thinks
figured,
it's
Raw.
she finds it funny when apparently we blaspheme Christianity. But she just said Jesus is supposed to represent all people. Nowhere in the Bible does it say, one, Jesus is supposed to represent all people. Number two, even if Jesus represented all people, that does not mean that Jesus Christ was all colors or that you can depict him in any way, shape, or form that you.
he's trying to portray him as Black. Also not very historically accurate.
Now it's a problem. Let's keep going.
Maybe Samuel is taking issue with the fact that Jesus is being portrayed as white sometimes, specifically because it's not historically accurate that he would have been like blonde haired or blue eyed. But then if that's the case, trying to portray him as Black, also not very historically accurate. And it's also, it doesn't make sense to say, oh, well, we know people of color were there. It's like, what do you mean were there? Did they exist during the time that Christ walked the planet? Yeah, but that doesn't mean that they were specifically in Jerusalem.
And now, once I saw this part, I said, I have to make a video about this.
I'm not trying to,
this
no
is the moment
disrespect,
when
bro.
I saw her face.
But it's like an hour, you know what I'm saying? So y'all can watch it if I want to.
Chilling with him. And I don't say that to be offensive. Like, I'm half Chinese. It's not like I thought there were a ton of Chinese people just also in the crowds hearing Jesus speak. I don't really know much about this director, but from just the concept of this film itself to his
Yeah, color don't matter up until right now. And he made good points, you know. I just don't have time, you know.
chilling with him. And I don't say that to be offensive. Like, I'm half Chinese. It's not like I thought there were a ton of Chinese
know
people
why
just
they
also
canceled
in the
it.
crowds hearing Jesus speak. I don't really know much about this director, but from just the concept of this film itself to his interviews, it seems like he's very much a Black identitarian. We have some of the more wacky stuff he said trying to promote this movie, but before we get to that, I do want to say a big thank you to today.
All right. So he goes on like lessons for a little while. Like I said, it's like super long, so but they care because they are definitely obsessed. Like I'm telling you, if you like even just like look into their stuff, like just to see what they be saying or plotting on, like they're going to say some disparaging stuff about Black people, even though we have nothing to do with anything.
Understand that, right? But let's keep going with what she's got to say.
Yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, because Jay-Z is apparently making this movie, right? So, you know, I guess you have opinions on that, but
Bonner Private Wine Partnership. So today,
Okay, she has a sponsor.
yeah,
Who
skip her
cares?
sponsor,
Anyway,
right?
let's go
Facts.
back.
we have this article by Bounding Into Comics about the Book of Clarence, and I love the title, Blasphemous, the Book of Clarence film backed by rapper Jay-Z pushes Black Hebrew Israelites propaganda with race-swapped Jerusalem. Really, what more is there to say about this film? But it is written, quote, in an interview with Ebony, Samuel emphasized how important portraying ancient Israel as Black is to the narrative of the film, declaring, as much as we love these films, there are no Black people in there. What happens when we, people of color and powerful women, occupy and inhabit a space? I know I had to put our spin on it and inject our flavor into it, he elaborated. Does this guy not think that like Middle Easterners count as people of color?
Well, they may count as people of color, but I don't think we count as, we not some damn people of color, you know. I've never seen the Korean Jesus. I have not seen the Korean Jesus. They have a white Jesus, you know what I'm saying? As she's saying here, you know what I'm saying? You could tell. Yeah, his feet were like brass, you know, as in the fire. Yeah, turn black, yeah. Yeah, I know. I just saw this video and I found it interesting because they do get mad at this kind of stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like, and oftentimes they say some like violent stuff. I showed the girl from Egypt when Black people, when they had the whole Kevin Hart thing in Egypt, like she was like, yo, death to anybody who's against us, including these, you know, who they always come for, you know, your friends, you know what I'm saying? The people our allies, you know what I'm saying? We got to make room for the Jews, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, these are some of our other allies too.
There it goes. Middle Easterners.
Saying it was Arabs, my guy. That's what she said. and he gave his lesson, and like I said, y'all can check it out because there's no disrespect to this brother here.
There are no black people in there. What happens when we, people of color and powerful women, occupy and inhabit a space? I know I had to put our spin on it and inject our flavor into it, he elaborated. Does this guy not think that like Middle Easterners count as people of color? It
has nothing to do with whether or not the
triggered him twice.
Identifies Middle Easterners as people of color. First of all, the term Middle Eastern is, again, it's not an ethnicity. That is not an ethnic background. Middle Easterner is no different than a Northwesterner. Do you know what people live? Imagine next time somebody tells you Jesus Christ was Middle Eastern, say, okay, that's cool. What are the people in the?
And he kind of went in for a while. You know what I'm saying?
Went in
on her for
They're
a
gonna
while.
say, what are you talking about? Okay, what about the Northwestern?
But the problem is, like, why are you even explaining yourself to this Dino Sullivan chick? You know what I'm saying? It's kind of irrelevant, right? You know what I'm saying? But we do a lot of explaining.
seems like it. He also says rapper Jay-Z would double down on Samuel's claims and further push the narrative that black people were, in fact, the center of biblical Jerusalem, noting that the director is fearless and a genius. He's not afraid to think big about things that put us as a people in places where we were a race, the rapper went on. We didn't exist in Western times. We all know that's false. And we didn't exist in biblical times. History would say otherwise.
Jay-Z's 100% right.
I do not know what Jay-Z is talking about.
There we go. That's where she should have stopped the video. This video should be 3 seconds long. This should be the entire video right here. Hold on.
In biblical times, history would say otherwise. I do not know what Jay-Z is talking about.
That should be the end of the video. She should say, I don't know what Jay-Z is talking about, and then she should conclude with saying, I don't know what I'm talking about, and then close the lid on the computer and then delete her channel. That's what she should do. She should end the video with saying, I don't know. That's the smartest thing she said this entire video is I do not know. I followed by.
Yeah, they getting that gene is wiping them out, you know what I'm saying? Wiping us out, you know, we getting crushed here, you know. They don't want to see nothing black. Yeah, you know, a lot of black people drinking the Kool-Aid though, you know.
Maybe the next word after that can be anything, because this video has done nothing but expose the hatred, the ignorance of history, the ignorance of the biblical history, the ignorance of geography, and her overwhelming amount of hatred and disdain that she has for so-called black and Hispanic people. That's what she's displayed.
She ain't say nothing about no damn Hispanic, bro. She was talking about Negroes.
I have not heard a single person ever say that black people did not exist in biblical times. I mean,
that's not okay. So now she also suffers from reading comprehension. Obviously, if you look at the context of
oh man, it was hot right here.
In Hispanic people. That's what she's displayed.
I have not heard a single person ever say that black people did not exist in biblical times. I mean,
that's not okay. So now she also suffers from reading comprehension. Obviously, if you look at the context of Jay-Z's quote, when he's saying that he's not literally saying that.
Imagine him taking up with Jay-Z. He probably going on Jay-Z all the time.
During biblical times. What Jay-Z is saying is that he's going against the notion that during biblical times there was not a black presence in the biblical area, the area where the Bible took place. That's what he's saying. Genius.
I mean, they existed. It's a bit of a different conversation to ask whether they were in Jerusalem, especially in meaningful numbers. I think.
Do we hear this? They were not. It's very questionable if they were in Jerusalem in meaningful numbers. Jerusalem is the land of Canaan. Now, guess what the Israelites did not do? We did not kick all the Canaanites out of the land of Canaan. Watch this. Now I gotta really go in. Watch this. Threshing floor.
I think this is almost it.
Watch this. Second
no
Samuel.
Disrespect, my brother. Because y'all can go back and get the lessons if you want to look up his channel or whatever.
I think history is actually pretty clear that was not the case. And just full numbers, I think history is asked whether they were in Jerusalem, especially in meaningful numbers. I think history is actually pretty clear that was not the case. And
I love it when people who think that they're smart try to speak on a historical fact as if it is an historical fact. Just because she says it with this weird kind of mannerism doesn't make it true. She's produced no sources. She's just talking. She's just talking her arse off, so to speak. Let's keep going.
And just for perspective, this is Black Hebrew Israelite talking points. The same talking points that, by the way, got Kanye West basically yeeted from public life and the entertainment industry entirely. So I'm actually kind of surprised that not only is someone like Jay-Z attached to this project, seeing how Hollywood really made it clear how they feel about this ideology, but also that this film is getting produced and made in the first place. And not only that, but it also stars James McAvoy and Benedict Cumberbatch, two very big mainstream actors who I would think would not want to attach themselves to a project that is, influenced by the Black Hebrew Israelite belief system. But
I wonder why. I wonder why that ideology gets people canceled. I wonder why saying Jesus Christ and the people in the Bible were men of color.
All right, I'm gonna stop it there, right? Because I probably shouldn't have even shown that. I just thought I have no excuse for showing that, right? And I get it, y'all. Y'all right. Yeah, she thinks it's funny, but it is the blatant disrespect, you know what I'm saying? And the anti-blackness that we have to recognize goes on within our friends, you know what I'm saying, our allies, or whatever y'all want to call them, So let me get to something more important. I'm gonna finish out on something positive, y'all. Now, consider is right. We need to start talking about how to build black wealth and all that stuff. And first, I do think it starts with, what I'm saying, the mentality. Because, like, hell, if we making excuses how mulatto babies is black, we like disparaging each other. It takes a black man and a black woman to make a black child, right? And that wealth is not coming back within your own community. That's just the smallest part of it, right? But yeah, they want to profit off of it, and everybody profits off of everything that we do, except for us, Yeah, and yeah, and she gets sponsors. She get like paid for doing that. Dino Selman girl, and I'm gonna always tell you that they're always gonna side with everybody else. So, like the sister in Africa said, what I'm saying, close down your borders. Like, what I'm saying, the people in South other places in Africa, like, yo, we don't want no damn bed bugs infestation over here. So the nasty ass French, what I'm saying, is not allowed in our borders. I would encourage everybody to kind of like, because I don't want no bed bugs in America. So maybe America should shut down their borders to France too, what I'm saying? And like, make sure that the French that visit here, what I'm saying, maybe they should get checked extra tight, what I'm saying? So in case they ain't bringing no like infestation over here to America type stuff. You feel me? Like, and every country should implement that against the French, But anyway, for some positive, right? Building wealth, right? Arkansas, the brother has, yeah.
Welcome back. And now to a morning original. These are stories you'll see first on Wake Up Central. The first Black-owned bank in Arkansas is expanding today, and in doing so, providing important services to an underserved community. Wake Up Central's Journey Taylor is here to explain why today's grand opening means so much to so many. Good morning, Journey.
Good morning, Karen. Founder and CEO Arlo Washington says the nonprofit community development financial institution is establishing a loan fund right in the core of 12th Street. A community
Did what, Raw?
He says that's underinvested. They're looking to provide access to financial products and services to low and moderate income communities who wouldn't otherwise receive the opportunity.
This neighborhood is significant because there were no brick and mortars. If you go all the way to Wright Avenue, all the way to...
Oh, no, Raw, the thing that we didn't do is protect it. That's the thing that we do over and over. Like, it don't matter what it is. Like, when they come for our land and the stuff that we build, like, we could do it with like only our stuff, and then they'll come over and we don't protect it. You know what I'm saying? Like, stopping them from doing anything. That's the thing that we got to work on. And then, like, because we just not working together. Like, we got resources, we got people, we got smarts, you know what I'm saying? It's just that, and I think wealth is more than for me, it's like more than money. That's why it's just like I'm just trying to show something positive, you know what I'm saying? It's more than money or whatever. It's like, you know, the mentality that we got, because it don't matter what we got. Like, we can have HBCUs if they doing, you know what I'm saying, suspect stuff is no good to us. Like, so no matter what we build, you know. But
university, you have no financial institutions, so that serve this community. So
Founder and CEO of People Trust, Arlo Washington, says his company did a study back in 2017 on the lending landscape to see where loans were being made, where small businesses and banks were located.
Yeah, facts,
In the
bro.
12th Street community,
there was a stark difference between where don't understand.
education and literacy for small businesses.
A lot of times it's difficult if you go into financial institutions that don't understand the cultural difference, that don't understand, you know, the wealth gap, the racial wealth gap in America. So, of course, in Arkansas, we have a racial wealth gap as well.
And now with Southern Bancorp across the street, along with one of LRPD's
Exactly, Raw. And the thing is, you know, and at a time we had hospitals that I feel like we could trust a lot more, because like even now, like you know, my mom trying to get her medicine, and then, you know, she gotta like go through issue, like, you know what I'm saying, like cuss the people out to get her medicine, and then the false diagnoses that we get, you know what I'm saying, like all that kind of stuff is like important to like building wealth. Like the school system, like I was showing you earlier, like how they doing, like, you know, like the young sister getting jumped in that all white school. It's just that, man, we is like so like cooned out, like, you know what I'm saying, like we some clones for real. Like it's, we say so much weak stuff, we only like always got something negative to say about each other, you know what I'm saying. It's just like crazy at this point, you feel me? And then we like stuck in the cycle, you know. Yeah, they have to go, you know what I'm saying.
Miami, I just want y'all to know, like a lot of times we don't be knowing, but this a black-owned bank here. It's called One United. You know what I'm saying?
All right, so this one, right, I'm going to play it, and I'm only gonna skip through some parts. And like I said, y'all can watch this channel. It's about this
Back
is
market
brothers who talk about like a black way of like the market and stuff too, you know what I'm saying. They talk about certain industries and certain things like that. They got comments on here. Yo, consider, check this part out. You know, I ain't gonna play this
So
part,
let's
but
talk about Airbnb, shall we? Put the post up on Instagram this morning.
because I was
That
gonna send this
Airbnb
one to you,
CEO,
consider.
Brian.
But let me get to the part because it's getting like long now. All right.
It's a new block.
So that's a fact. So all right. So let's talk. We talked about Redemption Bank. We spoke to you on the phone and you explained the bank. And a black-owned bank is extremely important. There's very few black-owned banks in the United States of America. And can you explain the process of starting the bank? How did it get started? Utah, the whole spiel behind what's going on.
Yeah, it's you know, we're in a very interesting time in our nation's history. When we look back at the night that my co-founder, Dr. King's father, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., was assassinated, we had over 135 black banks in America. And today we have 20 or less. So just think about that. The night he was assassinated, we had over 135 black banks, and now we're on 20. And that's not because of some, you know, M&A action. It's really because, you know, black banks struggle because black people struggle. When you have a bank that
now he lightly said what Raw was just saying, you know what I'm saying,
holds the ambitions.
We didn't learn, and that's what I'm saying. Like we say it like weekly and like apologetically, and you know what I'm saying, like we got more energy for the Arabs than we do for ourselves in a lot of cases, you know what I'm saying. And when it comes to certain things, like when we try to or if anybody try to do something to help, like I said, like, you know, you can go out there by yourself and you still should. Like if I'm like walking on the block and I see somebody getting like messed up, like, you know, I can try. Like if I go by myself, like and I'm gonna try, you know what I'm saying. But I won't be as successful if I have like 10 brothers that's like with me, you know what I'm saying. Like we the only, like, you know, like I said, protecting our children, we don't even protect our children to this day, You feel me? So like all that wealth, it starts at home. You know what I mean?
Of your local barbershop, your church, your faith-based organization. And every time America has an economic downturn, Black people are the first to get fired. And when it's over, we're the last to get hired back. With the people to walk into an institution and know that they're going to get a fair decision, that's Black banks. The anxiety alone behind going to get a loan from a bank that's not Black, there's studies that show so many mental health issues around credit scores and all the things that are involved in that. And you see, and this is what we talk about, banking your values. If you right now have a bank and you don't care what that bank does with your money and who they help or hurt, then that's a problem for us as a people. We must always be conscious of the fact that the banks that hold our money while we're asleep, they're using that money either to help us or hurt us. There is no neutrality. There's no you can just sit back tonight and go to bed thinking like, well, I don't know what's going on. I'm pretty sure everything's fine. It's not. You can Google right now and look at the top 10 banks and know who has federal consent decrees right now for discriminating against Black people. And if you hold your money in those banks, you are funding the actual discrimination of your own people. So I say that to Black people, I say that to white people who tell me, or any other race of people that says, what should I do? Well, the first thing you should do is bank your values. If you don't believe that this stuff should be happening, then don't put your money in banks that are perpetuating it, right? So we have to have Black banks. Now, why Utah? For us, it was really simple. Utah is the best state for banking regulatorily. This bank has to be able to reach every Black person where they go to bed. Unfortunately, the Black banks that we have now, many of them are locked into communities that are highly concentrated in low to moderate income areas. So they're fragile. And Dr. King and I created a foundation that tries to help these banks. And we've done really big deals to help big sports and big entertainment do deals with Black banks. You probably saw we did with the NFL. We did the largest Black bank deal with the NFL last month in the history of sports, all the way back to 2020 when we did the deal in Atlanta, which was the first sports arena in American history, 100% financed by Black banks. We've been at the center of this movement to create an ecosystem where Black banks can.
And if only we could like profit off of everything that we do.
Hills in Atlanta,
right?
And I plan on going to get a haircut. Because Utah is the best state for digital banking. That's why SoFi is there. That's why Ally is there. That's why every main Black investor group, Dr. King, myself, had to buy another Black bank, so you don't get that shock of, oh, well, what does this mean? Because you got to think about this for a second. It's a little jarring, for a white person to wake up one day and think a Black person owns their bank. Like that's something that they just never would think about would happen, right? So we had to do a lot of legwork in Utah, the work to mitigate that. My investors, people who we've gotten to invest in this bank, too many times when you say Black bank, people think it's a nonprofit. They hear the word CDFI, they think like, well, that's not trying to make money, it's trying to help people. And they are, but you cannot be a bank unless you're making money. Let's be real. So we believe you can do good and do well. You can do good, you can help people, you can be a mission-driven institution, but you also can make money for we've done hundreds of millions of dollars of deals. Before I even acquired this bank, through the Black Bank Foundation, deal I've done, whether it's with the NFL or MLS, we've invited every single Black bank to be a part of our deals. And to be honest with you, every Black bank in America has been on at least one of our deals, except for one. Out of 19 have been with us. And we think this has given us another opportunity to uplift everybody by going into these deals. And I can guarantee you by doing that, you'll have what's called this impact banking will be a force multiplier in the community. And what Redemption is going to be doing is lead that effort from the best state for banking and export those laws. And
they probably skipped it. They said something about cash apps
in
and
the
stuff.
fintech space that they don't have to sit on top of a bank that's not connected to their community anymore. So whoever the next Ready is, whoever the next Greenwood is, Cash App, Venmo, that they can sit on top of a Black bank now and be able to still do what they do. So what we're providing is an access point for entrepreneurs to sit on top of our bank so that they can go to the marketplace and provide all the innovative service. But the difference is when I'm on the block in Atlanta and I'm about to do a haircut and my barber asked me to hit him on Cash App, the difference is that money won't leave Atlanta and go to some bank in Ohio, that it will go to a Black-owned bank whether I use any fintech that's tied to our bank. So the goal for us, close that loop on the ecosystem, create a bank that any fintech can sit on top of so we can turn that money into community and not export it through the apps that we have now.
Get your free time.
All right. So I think, y'all get the point. Let me see if there's any other thing, because I'm about to get off of here now. Let me see.
Basketball presenter too. Yes, that's super exciting. Super exciting. And it ties into what you guys talked about with Van. I think it's a perfect tie-in to be in banking and finance and media, like you were saying, control the narrative. Four corners.
Four corners, man.
The four corners of the same thing.
One of the most insightful things I've heard from a guest on Earn Your Leisure. I told you after that episode, I said we got a classic. I think I called you, Ian. I went home. I told everybody about it. We got a classic. But that piece of that interview was, the way he broke that down was so profound. I'm like, this makes perfect sense.
Oh yeah. And for all you naysayers out there that
all right, so pretty much y'all get the point, and like I said, man, this is why it's important that we do the things that we have to do, to support each other. And I wanted to show some positive, and I understand, there is a lot of work to do, and that's why I support Cassandra, because she's talking about like Raul put it, rebuilding Black wealth. And I think it comes part of like defining what is wealth, right? Understanding just everything that we have to put in, right? Learning what is valuable, right? And definitely learning that we have no damn friends, you know what I'm saying? And that's the first and damn foremost, So that's one of the most important things that I think that we should realize, you know what I'm saying? So pretty much, at the end of the day, we definitely all we got. Yeah, thanks, Shanique. Yeah, and that's a long conversation, and they talk about a lot of things that you can invest in and all that other stuff. So let me do this, y'all. All right, so let me do this for the last words. Let me push up because it knocked this off too. But yeah, I appreciate y'all. Shouts out to you, Shanique. Shouts out to you, Raw. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to Cassandra. Shouts out to Malik, who was in here. And yeah, by the way, I know it's been a minute, Shanique. I'm glad you came back, especially on this one. Like it's just, that's how I know the timing be right. You know what I'm saying? Because I had all y'all in mind when I was doing this last one. All right. This is let me pull this up for the last words, y'all. But shouts out to all of y'all, to MD2, everybody like that. All right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like everything be right on time, Shanique. So shouts out to y'all. This is the last words, y'all.
On June 11th.
I went back, but this was pretty funny too, right?
Like a blast from the past. Beats out Larry Merchant and Natasha of Canada. Her time 36 minutes, 36.49 seconds. What a run indeed.
Look at the white girl face.
First Barbadian woman across the line, Amanda Maximilian.
They wrong, cuz. Look at this. Yo. They wrong, cuz. Cuz they wrong. What is they doing?
Just for the Asians out there, for the Asian girl.
Hey, Saudi, why? Whoa. Hey, I manage here. Why? Oh, I have to report. Brother, I have to report you. You're wrong.
Thank you.
I have to get the license now.
Gotta be quicker, Shadiq.
Okay, you know a lot of.
Yeah.
I won't do the license.
Okay, that's it. No more. We always this done. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, take this, give me a 20 and we good.
Huh?
Take this 10 back and give me 20 and you dump everything.
Okay, no more. Okay.
No more.
I'm gonna close my eyes.
Okay.
Why y'all do that?
No. We always two people, you know.
Huh?
We always two people, you know. We always New Jersey, you know. We have
But you know that's wrong.
Yeah. Okay.
Buddha watch. Hey, you know Buddha don't like that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Buddha was
Make sure you give Buddha an extra apple for your damn sins. All right.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yo, they tripping, cuz. Now, what we gonna do with this money? We gonna donate it to the lady that's sitting on this bench. Facts. And I want y'all to be a witness. So y'all won't be like, he took them people money. We're gonna give it right to that lady right here. What I'm saying is, every time they do stuff, it's like they overlook. Like they sell us cats, they sell us dogs, deers. Google it. Google Chinese people selling deers. Pick the deer off the road. The lady like, this look like my delivery truck. She follows the car. These niggas took the deer back to the damn restaurant and called the cops. And they had it in the sink washing it, bruh. And they overlook because they pay taxes in their business. You feel me?
All right, so that was for that Asian girl. She need to get that together. Hey, what up, hardcore? Hey, cheat, break laws, yet the white man still hooks them up, or the white boy or Neanderthal still hooks them up with livelihood outside of their countries, and they prevent us from doing business. Well, that's the point, you know what I'm saying? And you know, at the end of the day, we have no friends. So I appreciate y'all for coming through. And I'm sorry, I can't let that be the last word. So I'm gonna let Amos Wilson have the last words. But thank all of y'all for listening. I thank all of y'all for being here. And you know, maybe we'll get it together one day. And make sure y'all pay attention to that white girl, you know, who done killed that older brother. You know what I'm saying? She about to go to trial for like the 10th time. And they keep throwing it out. And that was back when Sandra Bland video was released. But anyway, the last words from Amos Wilson here.
Isn't it strange? And watch it, ladies and gentlemen, every means by which the normal African American defines his freedom ends up supporting white folks. To prove that he can live anywhere he wants to, he's got to move into a white neighborhood. To prove that he's free to go to any school he wants to, he goes to a white school. To prove that he can spend his money anywhere he wants to because he's a free man, he spends it with white folks. You understand? Yes. White man feels as free as a bird and feels no compulsion to live among you and does not feel that his freedom is infringed upon at all. Doesn't feel any compulsion to go to school with white folk. He doesn't feel like he's unfree because he's not going to school with you. He doesn't feel as he's unfree because he's not spending money with you, because he's not laying in the bed with you, and all these other kinds of things. But the Negro, in order to feel free and express his freedom, must spend and give his money and his labor power and everything else to everyone else but himself. That establishes him as a free individual and a normal individual. So then normality, you see, ladies and gentlemen, more than a psychological function, is a political and economic function. Because as you express your normality, as you express your law-abidingness, you maintain a system. Yeah. You heard me talk about this morning.
All right, so thank y'all, man. And as always, man, we have got to start standing for something, or we're gonna keep falling for anything.